Victory has made you soft. Do y'all remember the Batman movie when Bane told him, victory has defeated you? This is what Bane meant by that. For you dudes, y'all have been praised so long for not being certain things, for not being a thug, for not being a street runner, for not going to jail, in and out of jail. So now you're praised because you stayed in school. School is mandatory. You're praised because you went on to college. Okay, good for you. You're praised because you graduated. So you've been patted on your back the entire time. You've been led to believe that, hey, the world is going to roll its carpet out for you. All you got to do is walk down it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not like Brother Kush. You know, as long as you're not out there carrying pistols like Brother Kush, banging it out with like Brother Kush, hitting licks like Brother Kush, as long as you're not living like Brother Kush, you gonna be okay. And this is what you was led to believe. And now that you're starting to run into opposition in the real world, now that reality is starting to set in, you are leaning back on the dogmatic beliefs and rhetoric of tradition. Everything I'm about to say, you already know it to be true. You are a slave. You are a slave to money, to social economics, to status, to politics, to ideology. You have sold your soul to have a place in a world order that you should naturally oppose. All right, my brothers and sisters. I know I do have some sisters in here, despite this being a man channel, and y'all beautiful women are more than welcome to be here. I am blessed to have you here listening to me, checking out my videos, and leave a smiley face in the comment section. You don't have to always leave words. Just throw a smiley face, throw a thumbs down, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you think about it, you know what I'm saying? It's all love with me, you know what I'm saying? I'm very thick-skinned. But today I want to talk about this notion of traditional marriage. I want to ask my brother something serious. When you say traditional marriage, what do you mean by traditional marriage, and whose tradition are you speaking of? Because, you know, for a lot of y'all that want to always attack me and question my blackness, which is odd because I am the one with the full Afro-Asiatic name on my birth certificate. My name is Kazim Isam Asadullah, not Byron Smith, not Kevin White, not Jonathan this, not Chad that, not Todd that. I am Asadullah. That is my name. That's what's on my birth certificate. So I am the one sitting up here with an Afro-Asiatic name. I am the one sitting up here telling y'all that we did not come from no damn slaves. I am the most pro-black dude on YouTube, but yet my blackness is always in question. But I got a question though. When y'all say traditional marriage, whose tradition are you speaking of? Are you speaking of African traditional marriages? Are you speaking of slave traditional marriages? Or are you speaking of Eurocentric traditions, white man traditions? Because what are you speaking of? Because it's obvious your entire notion of what a family structure is based on is contingent upon social economics and capitalism and all these kind of things. In other words, the way you view family structure is tied to this system. And since this system is created by the white man, then I would have to conclude that your idea of a traditional marriage is based upon Eurocentric white supremacist ways and ideologies and beliefs. Now, am I right or wrong? So here's the lady that calls herself Dr. Spirit. Listen to what she said.
Unfortunately, so many men have been conditioned to believe that if you just protect and provide, you have done your job, and she does not have the right then to complain about the fact that you are not willing or not able or have not done the work to be more emotionally vulnerable. How do we recognize that we are all human beings having a very human experience where we have been conditioned not to step into our full completeness? And as a result of that, we harm ourselves and our partners and our relationships by not learning and showing up in a new, more meaningful way. Rise to the occasion of what is required of us instead of complaining and feeling entitled to have a certain thing because we learned a certain set of rules for a world that no longer exists.
Now, the problem I have with what she said was that emotional, vulnerable stuff. This is female code for men need to be a little softer. Men need to be a little bit more like this. That's female code for that. We are not supposed to be emotionally vulnerable for nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? We are creatures of very strong emotions. The men do have emotions. We do feel. But it is not our job to wear our emotions on our sleeve. That is not our role in nature. We are just not hardwired like that. We're not hardwired to be sitting here crying about things and negotiating everything and trying to compromise everything. That is not how we move, bro. We don't compromise like that. We don't bend, break, or bow like that. That is not what we do. But what she started off with saying is true. That too many of y'all have been conditioned under the belief that if you lead and protect or provide and protect, that you somehow have done all the work and there's nothing else for you to do. From that point on, the woman should be your servant. But here's the problem. You're not really protecting. I've done videos talking about the role of a man in regards to protecting. A lot of you dudes ain't even cut like that to do the protecting, bro. I've listened to you dudes in over a decade online talking. Actually, 2 decades. Like I said, I can go back to when Black Planet had those forums that was popping circa 2002, 2003, you know what I'm saying? I was online back then, you know, debating with people, you know what I'm saying? And you dudes exposed yourselves back then that y'all don't really have what it takes to go all out to protect your people. You brothers are just not built like that, man. It's been taken out of you. Victory has made you soft. Do y'all remember the Batman movie when Bane told him, victory has defeated you? This is what Bane meant by that. For you dudes, y'all have been praised so long for not being certain things, for not being a thug, for not being a street runner, for not going to jail, in and out of jail. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all have been praised for doing, I mean, I don't know the word to describe it. I mean, it's mediocre stuff. So now you're praised because you stayed in school. School is mandatory. You're praised because you went on to college. Okay, good for you. You're praised because you graduated. So you're praised for everything that's simple, and you're praised for not doing other things. So you've been patted on your back the entire time. You've been led to believe that, hey, the world is going to roll its carpet out for you. All you got to do is walk down it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not like Brother Kush. You know, as long as you're not out there carrying pistols like Brother Kush, banging it out with like Brother Kush, hitting licks like Brother Kush, as long as you're not living like Brother Kush, you going to be okay. And this is what you was led to believe. And now that you're starting to run into opposition in the real world, now that reality is starting to set in, you are leaning back on the dogmatic beliefs and rhetoric of tradition. But whose traditions are we speaking of? Because as a black man, you should not want no parts of this system. No parts of it. No parts of it. You should not want a woman to be with you simply because you have a job. See, this is the victory that has defeated you. You're so used to being praised for doing so little that now you believe that just because you was able to get a job which somebody gave to you, remember that you got that job because you fit a profile. You're not special. They gave you that job for their reasons. You have the job you have because you benefit them, not the other way around. So, but now you think because you got this job, because you got this income, you are the superior man now. And this is the mentality that you bring with you into the world. And now you are being met with opposition and you don't know how to handle it. So now it's all about tradition. Whose tradition? Whose tradition? You can't answer that, can you? No, you can't answer that. So when this lady goes on to mention about we are trapped, that we don't understand that we are human beings having a human experience. Is this not what I've been saying on my channel? I've been trying to get y'all to understand that the first thing you got to do is look at women as human beings, not possessions, not prizes. Human beings. We are all human beings having a human experience. We're having our own experience. Her life is not going to be determined by you. Stop trying to do it. You can evoke tradition all you want, but that means nothing to them. And again, it means nothing in reality, because whose tradition are we speaking of? Culturally, we are not all raised alike in the black community. Let's just be honest. The black community is vast. It's not nowhere near a monolith. It's not a one thing. It's not a oneness. This is why I'm pushing for an official separation of the community, so that we don't have to worry about being misrepresented by those who are nothing like us. And I need y'all to support that. Whether you want to be on my side or another side, don't matter. Support it. If you feel that you come from a better stock of black, then support this notion that we need to officially separate. If you feel like you don't want to have Pookie and Ray Ray around you, not that I really want them around me, but I'm not going to alienate them, you know what I'm saying? I'll take them, but I gotta find a corner somewhere for them suckers until they civilize themselves, you know? But I won't alienate them, but I do see that they have problems. But if you feel like you don't want these kinds of people nowhere in your world, then push for separation in the community like I want to do. Get behind me and push for that, at least. Can you support me on that? Can you at least support me that you don't want to be nowhere around a brother like me? Can you at least support that? Can you at least support the idea that you don't want to have nothing to do with a brother like me? That I'm not your cup of tea, you don't want me representing you, I don't want you represent me. Okay, we good there. So let's work together on that, but you can't. Because the truth of the matter is, you don't have it in you to work with a black man on anything positive. And that's part of the problem, because that's tradition. That's American tradition, right? Because you talk about tradition, we talk about white supremacy tradition. Another white supremacy tradition is to hold down black people no matter what they're trying to do. You're not going to work with me because that goes against the white supremacy narrative of working with your brother on anything. You're not going to work with me because I'm black. And I'm not the coon type black. I'm not the fake type black. I'm real. So you definitely ain't going to want to work with me. But anyway, I've been trying to tell y'all for the longest that we are human beings having a human experience. That you gotta see this woman as a human being first. You get mad at me for that. I mean, I don't know why that angers you. I don't even get it. What about that makes you mad? If I tell you that women are human beings, how does that make you mad? What is wrong with you brothers, man? Man, what is wrong with y'all, bro? How does that make you mad? How does me telling you that you gotta respect this woman as a human being first, how is that insulting to you? I don't understand you dudes. What is wrong with y'all, bro? And y'all look at me like something wrong with me. I'm not the problem, man. I don't have y'all problems. I never had y'all problems. I am here as a courtesy to y'all. Y'all ain't want to use it. Dude, if y'all could somehow tap into my memory bank and see the faces of the women that I dated and slept with, you will go crazy. I never had your problems, man, because I've always approached women as human beings. I've always treated them like human beings. I'm not gonna get too deep into that right now, but the point is, I don't know why that makes you mad, but I've been trying to tell y'all that since I started this channel, that one of the main problems I see is that y'all don't have a proper respect for females as human beings. Y'all are making the same mistake that the black women made with us, because they long stopped respecting us as human beings. They see black men as dirt and property, stepping stools and property. They see black men as something that they are entitled to, and that the black man should not have a right to be nowhere else or go nowhere else or do nothing else other than what they want you to do, be, and whatever. That's how they've been looking at us. And now we are looking at them the exact same way. That's what that doctor woman didn't say. Now she ends by saying that you are holding on to beliefs from a world that no longer exists. The problem with that is that that world never existed. It was never real. It was never a real thing. There was never a time when women would just stay inside and be barefoot and pregnant all day. There was never a time like that. That was always a group, a type of people. That was never all the people. It was never like that. You've been misled. This traditional thing you're talking about was never really a tradition to begin with. And most of y'all should know better. A lot of you dudes come from mamas that had college degrees and worked and all this stuff. And you know what I mean? What y'all think, man? Some of y'all had grandmothers that had college degrees and worked and all this stuff. I mean, there was never a time where women were just some kind of servant or Stepford wife, slave type robot thing for the men. That was never like that. But that's what y'all think of when y'all think of tradition. And when women call y'all out on it, y'all get mad. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that you just need to tweak your views a little bit. You can get what you want out of a woman, but you gotta first respect that woman as a human being. And until you do that, you're not gonna get what you want. But forget about all that. I just need you to tell me in the comment section, when you say traditional marriage, what tradition are you speaking of and whose tradition is it? Because you gotta remember, the way we live right now, see, this is something y'all don't realize. Y'all let these people lie to y'all. This is the problem with going to college. It makes you stupid. This way that we live under this so-called economic and capitalist society all around the world, it's probably no older than 300 years old. That's it. Don't let them lie to you about they found coins in the Roman coins. We found coins from this BC and that. No, they didn't. There was no need for money at one time, bro. We didn't live under capitalist rule. So when you create a system like this, you create it to control people. It has no other purpose. It is created to enslave. The whole system was created to enslave. Human beings did not always live like this. So when you say traditional marriage, what tradition are you speaking of and whose tradition is it? I challenge you. Let me know in the comment section. Because I'm telling you, you've been misled. You could be mad at me or not. You've been misled. I'm gonna leave it at that. And for the record, I'm gonna do another video and I'm gonna use the other chick. I'm not gonna do it on this video. I spoke too long on this one. So I'm gonna do the other chick on the next video. So until that time, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm Brother Kush, AKA The Black Elf Salon.